Well, hey folks, Real Honesty with John Mifflin's a real honest rant about wrestlers and relationships and how fans overreact and just spew a whole bunch of hate towards their favorite wrestlers or the significant others that they're dating. I want to give a big shout out to Evelina Tweets, discussions that we've had. She actually inspired me to do this rant. I'm actually recording this on Sunday. I was going to take a break for the rest of the night, but I decided, no, fuck it, I'm fired up. So thank you very much, Evelina, for this. I just want to say this much. If you claim to actually be a wrestling fan, and I'm not going to pull out the real wrestling fan thing, but if you claim to be a wrestling fan with a working fucking brainstem and actual cognitive abilities, you would want your favorite to be happy. And as long as they're in a healthy relationship, whether it's, a male wrestler with a male wrestler with a female wrestler, female with a female with a man, doesn't matter. If they're your favorites, you want to see them happy and succeed. I love Becky Lynch. I'm happy she's in a relationship. At least I believe she still is. Regardless, she deserves to be happy with whoever she's with. Same with Asuka. Asuka's married. I believe her and her husband have a kid together. That's great. I love Becky and Asuka, and I just want them to be happy. Why? Oh yeah, because I possess a fucking working brainstem, which apparently is in the neck. But the whole point, anatomy, faux pas aside, the whole thing about this is, here's why I'm basically going to start off this whole rant. Because I have still seen, months after this whole thing was announced, Sonya Deville and Zara Schreiber, I don't know how you exactly say it, it was revealed they were in a relationship. And oh, sweet Jesus, you would have thought that they had, killed a whole bunch of animals, live on pay-per-view, or they had, admitted that they were going to explode the sun and, destroy the earth, or they were a supervillain with a weather machine. They had done some horrible atrocity. Oh, no, wait. They just decided to be two women that are in love. Oh no. The sky's falling. Everything's terrible because two people of the same gender decided that they love each other, that realize they love each other. Holy crap, they love each other. Oh my God, the worst thing in the world. Yeah, I get a little angry about this. This is a bit of a companion piece to my previous Real Honest rant, which thank you guys, by the way, for the great feedback that I've already gotten on that. Honestly, I really do appreciate it. As angry as I sound, I really do appreciate it. Let me say this much. I did say some shit about Zara because she was the one who was with Seth Rollins for a bit and then got released from her NXT contract or WWE contract because posts had been leaked from 2012 of her with Nazi stuff on her Instagram. I railed against that. Justifiably so. But, and shout out to Evelina Tweets again. Her and I talked a bit. And it was a good dialogue. She made me realize that people can change. And I did, years, or earlier this year, and even talked about in the previous rant, the acceptance, tolerance, and understanding, learning that people can change. So I had to take a step back and realize, you know what? Maybe Zara did change. Maybe she did. If Sonya sees the good in her, Zara did make positive changes and realize that was wrong to post that stuff on Instagram and realize that stuff is no joke. And her and Sonya are happy. Who gives two shits if they're women? Oh my God, they're two women. How dare these two human fucking beings fall in love? You guys are sick fucking freaks for thinking that it is a bad thing for two people of the same gender to fall in love. Honestly, what the actual fuck? So if Sonya's happy, one, I think Sonya's got a tremendous upside. I will actually possibly do. I will be, putting her over strong, in an end of year video that I'm going to be doing. So I think she's been a pretty damn good star this year, even though she hasn't been featured the best on TV, and, except for a match that's coming up on Smack. Anyway, the whole point is, I think Sonya's got a tremendous upside. She is a great spokesperson for the LGBTQ community, which is great. And she's still young where she can improve in the ring even more than she already has. But the whole thing is, if she is happy with Zara and Zara is happy with her, let's let them be happy. I mean, for fuck's sake, sure, we can think that Zara doing that shit on Instagram was a stupid idea, and it fucking was. It really fucking was a stupid idea. But she admitted to it. And she did that, and just because she's with somebody of the same gender, let's not vilify every single person. Let's not do that. The amount of shit I saw, and Darren Young, obviously released from his contract almost a year ago, at this point. I think about 11 months. The amount of shit I saw him get when he came out as gay, I think it was broken on by TMZ. The amount of shit I saw him get, I'm just like, holy fuck. Who cares? Does that affect his ability in the ring? No. There are like people that, blackballed Canyon. Well, Canyon seemingly got blackballed from wrestling because he was gay. Oh no. He happens to like guys. Oh no, he must be toxic. We can't employ him, or we don't want to wrestle him or use him right. No, WWE wants to turn him into a Boy George knockoff. Great job. I know that was 2003 and they're trying to do a little better. They're not doing a ton better. Probably should be pushing for a better acceptance by, just being better. But the whole point is that was ridiculous. Darren Young deserved better than he got, even though he wasn't the best in the ring. I mean, he got a few more years out of his career, so it's great. But the amount of shit that I saw him get just because he was gay, oh my God, people are like, it's a sin, it's a sin. Fuck off with that sin stuff. Just fuck off with that. If you actually read any of that stuff, Old Testament, New Testament, guess what? Technically, that stuff contradicts itself every time. And it has a bunch of stories in it that you're supposed to live by. And you're actually supposed to learn from them and accept people for who they are. That's right. I know that's a bit of a hard thing to grasp, but just because somebody has a different sexuality than you doesn't make it right to hate them. It doesn't, does it? It's not right to hate them. But anyway, that's kind of going back to the whole thing that I said about the rant before. So I hated the comments that Darren Young got, and fuck all those people that said that shit. And the same with the people that say that bad things about Sonya and Zara just because they're two women in love. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. No, it's not. Let's go to other ones. In fact, actually, let's go to one. How Kenny Omega and Ibushi act, whether they are officially together or not. Oh yeah, look at this shirt. That's all I gotta say about that. I love that shirt, by the way. Wore it on the previous rant. If Kenny Omega and Ibushi are together or not together, I don't care because it's their lives. Honest to God, that's really what it's about. Being happy. Being happy in this crazy mixed up world. There are way too many goddamn people that are miserable in this fucking world. They want to make others miserable. And people could say that I'm like that, but I just like to rant and just have fun and everything. I have such tremendous disdain for seeing that kind of stuff because I know what it's like to say that kind of shit. And again, I just want to say, before I go into other wrestler relationships, you can fucking change if you fucking want to. And if you don't fucking want to, then shut the fuck up. It's not even that I don't want to listen to people be that way. Because I don't. But I want people to know I will listen to you and help you realize that you can change and not be homophobic and not hate this kind of stuff. But no, you want to be that way, fine. Then what you are is a bad wrestling fan. You are. Because it's not like it's any of your goddamn business if they have a different sexuality than you. It is not. So, let's move on to other relationships. I saw shit that Ruby, and I don't know her boyfriend's name, or fiance. I don't know if they're engaged or not. It's really none of my business. One, I think Ruby's a beautiful woman. It's okay if you guys don't. I do, though. I've thought Ruby was beautiful for a number of years, actually, when she was just on the indies, but especially since she's become the Ruby Riott, the character on NXT and now the main roster. Ruby is a beautiful woman. Ruby and her significant other guy are very happy together, and great. He posted some kind of some kind of picture, how beautiful is my girl. That's the kind of love and acceptance that you want to see in a relationship. So how, as a wrestling fan, can you not be happy that Ruby has found a guy that thinks the world of her, that has her up on a fucking pedestal, that I don't know how, I don't know anything. I don't know much of anything about love. I haven't been in a relationship for 7 years, but puts her up on a pedestal, thinks she's the best thing that's ever happened to him. How could you not think that that's such a great thing? No, you wanna-be selfish, idiotic pricks. A lot of it are just troll accounts, people just troll on social media. But there are some that really believe this shit and really believe it like, oh, these wrestlers should just entertain us, and just because they didn't respond to my one Instagram comment among the thousands that they get on every single post, you think that they have time to go through every single thing? No, they don't. That's another thing. I am thrilled whenever a wrestler responds, favorites a tweet, whether I tag him in it or not, favorites it, or even responds. I mean, I have a few wrestlers that follow me, and that is fucking tremendous. And I never asked for it. It just happens. And it's great. Accepting the fact that they're real people with real problems and real hardships, and they just, they have feelings and all this kind of stuff. If you just recognize that shit, you'd be surprised how much good stuff can come. Yeah, I rant about ones that I don't like. Do I say stuff in my Raw and SmackDown reviews and pay-per-view reviews that sometimes go a bit too far? A bit too far is a bit of a stretch, because I don't wish injury, I don't wish death on wrestlers. Are there certain ones I don't want on TV? Sure, but at the same time, they're also living their dreams. But let's go back to the whole thing about relationships. I still see so much shit, like the shit that Ruby gets. Come on, ridiculous. If Ruby's happy with this guy and he's happy with her, leave him the fuck alone. Renee and Dean Ambrose, they're still getting a ton of shit. There are people that I used to be friends with that that absolutely hated Renee, said that, people, need to leave their favorites alone, yet Renee barely needed to even be on camera, or didn't even need to be on camera, and some people are just saying that Renee's the worst, I like Renee. I personally think that Renee is very charming. I like what she does on TV. I think she's gained a whole lot better at commentary. And I'm really happy that she was able to be on a recent edition of Raw. I'm really happy that her and Beth Phoenix are part of the Mae Young Classic. The commentary. It'd be really interesting to see Beth in the ring. Not to say that Beth couldn't do it, but I don't know why she would be in the Mae Young Classic when she's already well established. She'd probably make one-off appearances like she did at the Rumble. Which was really good, by the way, the women's Royal Rumble. That was really fun. They did a good job pacing that. Going back to it. Renee and Dean, it's like the worst type of fucking fan. Ambrose fans are some of the worst. I mean, I'm sorry. Now, some of them are really, really cool. But some of them, my God, they act like, just because Dean doesn't have social media, it's somehow Renee's fault. Or Renee is, keeping Dean to herself or whatever, or Dean would have more time if he wasn't with Renee or whatever. One, you're not a goddamn mind reader. Two, Dean has said he doesn't want to be on social media. And three, if they're happy together, then the least you could be is a decent human being and realize that they are fucking meant for each other. Honestly, I go back to the old thing with Becky and Asuka. I love them. You think I'm upset they're in relationships? I don't care how famous I am. I would never have a goddamn chance. That's just how life works. People are going to have to learn life's not fair, and you need to stop fantasizing all this stuff. Live a bit in the real world, I say, as I talk about wrestling, which is people pretending to fight each other, and sometimes fighting each other for real if they decide to shoot. Japan's weird like that, but Japan's also awesome. But WWE has had that happen. Moving on. There are so many relationships I see where I saw, what was it, Ty Dillinger and Peyton Royce, which... good for them. I actually didn't know they were dating until apparently months into their relationship, which good for them. They're happy. Who cares? Peyton, or why is Peyton dating that job or this kind of stuff? I don't know. Maybe she's happy with him and not judgmental like you are. I mean, Peyton deserves to be happy. So does Ty Dillinger. Aren't they human beings? Yeah, they are. Are they flawed? Of course they are. Who the fuck isn't flawed? But they seem like good people. They should be allowed to be happy, especially in the tough world of wrestling. You're on the road all the damn time. You don't get to see your family that often. You don't get to see people that much. If you are a wrestler dating a wrestler in the same company, whatever. I ain't gonna judge. I mean, you can get into other relationships, Bray and JoJo, and I'm not gonna get into that because that was a mess. It was a mess and a half, actually. But so many, like that's an example of one where I could understand why people would be a bit upset. One, maybe need to back off a bit on the comments. Like the hate towards JoJo and Bray. I mean, I understand the anger. And you have your opinions on it, but some people are taking it to the point where they want them both to die. Hold up. No, that's not cool. But examples like people hated the Paige and Del Rio relationship when it happened. Now, thankfully, it's over, long over. But I was one of the ones that said that it was a bad idea. I knew it was going to be toxic, and it turned out that I was right. I didn't want to be right. And there were people who were like, "Oh, well, how do you know? It's like they could be happy together or whatever." And I almost wanted to screenshot that comment, but I don't want to go back looking through the videos and almost just say to him, "I'm sorry. Who was right? Oh yeah, I was right." And I didn't want to be right because Paige, I wanted to be happy. At the time, I was actually a fan of Alberto Del Rio, and now the guy has just proven to be a massive piece of shit. So thankfully, Paige got out of that. I don't know if she's dating anybody, so not really any of my business. Thankfully, she got out of that because that would have been that relationship ended because that would have just been beyond toxic and could have ended really badly. Now, the whole thing about wrestlers and relationships is fans need to realize at the end of the day, they deserve to be happy. And if you're any kind of human being and you're any kind of person that actually loves and wants this person to succeed and wants them to attain championships and be in these hot angles and do all these great things, okay, great. But once the lights go out and they're on the road, this kind of stuff, don't you think that it would be great if your favorite had somebody to go home to, had somebody they were on the road with, whether they were dating them, whether they were, or if it's just, somebody who has a regular 9-to-5 job or does things outside of wrestling, they get to go home to and see a few days a week and have somebody love them and accept them for who they are and listen to their problems and everything and help them heal from the tough road life or this kind of stuff. Wouldn't you want your favorites to have something like that? To realize that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and something like that, and it's not just wrestling, that they're in a happy, healthy relationship and they're with somebody they love. Wouldn't you want that if you were any kind of decent human being? I think you would. That's why people need to actually understand. At the end of the day, wrestlers are human beings, flawed as we all are, but they deserve to be in happy, healthy relationships. Whether it is a man and a woman, woman and a man, man and a man, or woman and a woman. If you can't accept that, that is your problem. If you can't accept that somebody has a different sexuality than you, and especially if it's one of your favorite wrestlers, then you're never going to see anything beyond the surface, and that's just your problem. You're going to always see things for how you want to see them. That's not a good thing. So anyway, that's what I have to say. Now, are there more wrestler relationships? Absolutely. There are a ton I'm not going to get into. Ones that are past and ones that are current. A ton I'm not going to get into. But anyway, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. It's been Real Honesty with Jarmithlin. I will see you soon.